This is Granny Maggie from Granny Magic, Professor of Earth Magic at deaduniversity.com. I would like to take a few minutes to talk about dealing with spiritual entities, specifically in your home. There is such a thing as residual energy, and many people do have that and think of it as a haunting. But for the purposes of this talk, I have people coming to me who actually recognize that they're dealing with some type of intelligent entity. The most important thing, of course, in setting boundaries and cleansing your home, and all the videos I have up full of ways to cleanse your home, ward your home. There are so many ways to do that. I'm not going to cover that here. But what I will say, the most important aspect is to start yourself off in a grounded spiritual state. It helps to do a cleansing bath and helps to do a grounding meditation first. Because your energy, your focus, your intention during any cleansing and warding is one of the most significant factors in its success and how long that lasts. You have to know and be very clear about the boundaries you are setting for your home. If you have spiritual activity in your home, one of the things that you can do is to attempt to clear out all negative spirits and negative energy. And that's basically what most cleansings do. And then after warding against negative energy, many people then go back through with cedar, Palo Santo, sweetgrass, and they go back through and they do a home blessing, inviting good energy, good spirits back into their home. And actually that blessing is really important because spirit guides, for example, need to be invited. They need to be invited in. Once you've done that, when you're dealing with even benevolent spirits in your home, you have the right to set the boundaries with the communication. What is acceptable? What is not acceptable? Is moving things and hiding them in almost a jokester kind of way, is that acceptable to you? Not to me. I find it annoying and irritating, and I ask them not to do that. There's times of day when I'm busy and I'm focused. There are times of day I set aside, and those are good times for spirits to interact with me. In particular, I don't like spirit interaction in my sleep, while I'm asleep, or in my bedroom. That's my boundary. That's an old childhood thing when I had less control over all of this. And it became a problem for me when I was trying to sleep. So you need to just be very clear. This is your home. You're the one who's alive and living in the physical space. They're the ones wanting to cross over energetically into that. You can set the boundaries when the door is open, when the door is closed. Now, somebody sent me a message and they're having almost what seems like poltergeist activity. And this is the second person this week that I've consulted with who has things actually flying out of cabinets. One person actually got hit by a can, having things fall off shelves and break. That's not activity that I could easily dismiss or be okay with. The person involved that asked me about it in a message today thought perhaps it could be their recently deceased grandparent, of whom they were very fond and who they loved very much. No. A recently deceased family member who loves you and that you loved very much is going to communicate with you in personal, intimate ways that you recognize and makes you feel good, not afraid, not upset. They're going to, depending on what your psychic gifts are, try to send you smells, sounds, sometimes a thought in your mind, a piece of music that you hear that keeps playing. So many signs that they're present and possibly want to communicate with you. People usually find these signs very, very reassuring. If you have some type of entity in your home that's doing destructive acts, first, you cleanse, set your boundaries, ask it to stop. Attempt to clear it out specifically. If it's deeply rooted in your home, there's some possibilities to look at. There are ways to do long-term, serious cleansings bordering on exorcisms to get rid of a spirit. Saint Michael is very powerful. There's a 9-day novena with Saint Michael, for example, that really cleanses out stubborn spirits that are causing discord and harm in your home. Oftentimes, this type of activity, though, is linked to somebody in your home. A lot of times, young people who have spiritual gifts and maybe aren't aware of them or have repressed them for various reasons finds this kind of activity occurring in their home because it just comes out in various ways. And usually this is a time of hormonal fluctuations. There's just a lot of emotional things going on in young adults. Not necessarily restricted to young adults, but anybody in your home who has, for some reason, strong emotions and might have repressed spiritual gifts, then you might see this kind of poltergeist activity. The other possibility is somebody in your home is bringing this into your home. I mean, you've cleansed, you've set the boundaries, but it keeps recurring. There's a possibility that you might want to look at the activities of members of your family, where they go, what they might be bringing back. And it's important for everybody in the home to learn to protect themselves energetically when they leave the house. How to visualize a protective energetic bubble around them. To wear crystals such as tourmaline that absorbs anything negative that comes their way. For the whole family and household to lift the positive vibrations of that household. That's the strongest way to keep that type of activity at bay. Fear feeds it. Joy, happiness, love, high vibes starves it out. So, making sure that you have things in your home, such as crystals that radiate out positive vibrations, rose quartz, selenite, amethyst, tiger's eye, different kinds of protective crystals and ones that radiate joy as well and love. Putting out salt bowls that any negative energy that does make it through gets absorbed and is sort of grounded into that, by that salt's energy. Himalayan pink salt is wonderful for salt bowls. You can mix different herbs in to change the vibes of the space. Houseplants. Houseplants are amazing for lifting the energy in a house. Some more than others, and there are posts online that you can look at recommendations for which kinds of plants can keep negativity at bay. The music that you play is very important. The activities of the family, laughter, love, positive affirmations, everybody working together in that space, that's all stronger than any kind of negative entity. None of this will keep positive spirits, positive energy from ancestors, loved teachers, anything like that out of your home. They're actually going to thrive when you've created this warded, positive space. And it's perfectly okay to ask ancestors and spirit guides for help in dealing with some kind of negative energy that's disruptive in your home. If I had a spiritual entity breaking things, throwing things, and even hitting me in the head with a can, I would be asking St. Michael to intervene. I would be asking my ancestors to intervene. I would be asking my spirit guides for assistance in stopping that activity. That is not ever okay. Now, this is just a broad overview because there's so many different aspects of working with spirits, and I'm going to be doing a lot more teaching regarding that after this fall equinox and up towards November 1st, All Saints Day. As we see this occurring more and more, how we can benefit from it, how we can actually encourage positive spiritual interactions with the people, the spirits, the ancestors we really want to communicate with. If you have destructive spirit activity in your home and you're having problems getting rid of it or dealing with it, sometimes the causes can be quite complex. That's why I can't give you a fast, easy answer in your messages. I can give you maybe an oversight, and then if you start just bringing everything into it, you'll find me saying, okay, time for you to schedule a spiritual consultation, because it's not necessarily easy to get at the root of what's happening and the causes and how to deal with it.